Hi guys, I've been meaning to make this video for ages and now I'm making it, and it's about why suicide is not an option for you. Okay. I've been seeing lots of statuses lately about would anyone care if I was here, or reblog this if you cared if I commit suicide, and it's really upsetting because I can tell you now that I'd care. I can't tell you how many times I've almost relapsed into self-harm since my beautiful sister took her life, but I haven't because I knew that if I started, there'd never be a good time to finish. But fuck, I've wanted to. I don't understand how anyone could honestly believe that suicide's an answer. No one on the planet can tell where they'll be in a year, or even in a month. Why would you want to take such a risk to end it all just because the world seems dark at the moment? I used to have to go to a psychiatrist, and one thing she said was an amazing analogy for how you feel when you're suicidal. I know that when you think about it, it seems like it's the only option, and nothing anyone says will make you think otherwise. But it's like you have a sad and a happy drawer, and when your sad drawer is open, you can never remember what it was like in the happy drawer. It's pretty much locked. But honestly, all you wonderful people out there, there is always a happy drawer, and it may take a while for it to open, but it will. I know it sounds stupid, but you need to realize that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Most of us are still so young and have a good 50 to 70 years left in us. I know it's perplexing, but it will be filled with amazing things. And now for the hardest part of my message to you all, the effects suicide has on people. This is a diary entry from the day I found out that my 14-year-old sister had hung herself. 25th of the 8th, 2011. It's crazy how life happens. At 7:30 AM, I was in bed wondering if I should skip breakfast or not. And at about 8 AM, my world was pulled from underneath me. Last night, my sister Jessica killed herself. She was 14. I still haven't come to grips with it as I sit on the plane to see my family. It's almost 11 AM now, and I ended up skipping breakfast anyway. I don't know what to expect when I get to Masterdom. I remind Paula so much of Jess, and I'm afraid I'll upset her, but I'm hoping this will bring us closer. I don't really know what this will do. I feel like I'm never going to get over this. I have exams and formal soon, but I can't bring myself to consider either of them. I'll be fine for a while, but then I'll think about the fact that she's really gone, and bam, I'm a mess again. I wish there was a study telling me how I'm meant to act or feel, and for how long I'll feel this shit. I want to know how it happened, if she was in pain or not. I think of our brother Wes. I'm his only big sister now, and when Paula is pregnant, and that baby will never get to know her. Born in the wake of such a tragedy, I will always tell you how beautiful she was, how funny she could be, and how much she loved you and was excited to see you. I feel like I'm meant to be the strong one, but I can't imagine ever being strong again. She had changed so much from the little brat I wanted to annoy, to avoid, to a girl I felt I could tell the world to. We'll be landing soon. I feel like throwing up. I don't want this to be real. No mother should have to bury her 14-year-old girl. Never. I can't believe this. Can it just be a joke? A dream? Anything? I don't want this to be real. It's too painful to be real. Truth is, when I showed up to my birth mum's house, she didn't speak to me for days. She hardly even looked at me. And her husband was the one who found her. He's never said much to me, but when he saw me, he broke down in tears and ran to hug me. He's always been quiet and reserved, but I could hear him outside wailing to my uncle. Why'd she do it? What could have been so bad at 14? She would do that. My granddad had to make the box for her ashes. She'd already told them she wanted to be cremated, and no grandfather should have to do that for his grandchild. I was there the day they let her school friends come and visit her. I knew she'd been bullied, and I wanted to see anyone who'd done it so I could yell and scream at them. But as everyone came in, and one of her best friends pointed out to me everyone who had picked on my baby sister, I saw that those were the ones crying the hardest. There were 500 people at her funeral, a rough approximate. But considering she felt like she had no one she could go to, doesn't it seem an awfully large amount of people? There is always someone you can turn to, even people you barely know. Feeling lonely or sad is a universal feeling, and everyone can relate to it. Suicide is never the answer. You'll be affecting everyone you've come in contact with. Even if you only knew them for a day, everyone will feel like there's a gap in their lives, and you'll leave people begging for an answer as to why, but you'll never be able to give it to them. I remember thinking that when I died I'd be able to watch over everyone and see their reactions. And maybe you think that too. But imagine this, seeing your mum bedridden for days, never being able to sleep, or seeing your siblings cry themselves to sleep for months. Imagine seeing your best friend from high school finding out and watching them slowly spiral downwards and even consider killing themselves too. You're watching all of this, but you can't do anything. Why would you want to watch everyone cry and blame themselves? Please don't think it's your only way out. Even if you and I have never talked, I have made a promise to myself to try my hardest to prevent anyone from taking their lives. I will always listen, and I will always try to cheer you up. Please don't think you're alone. Reach out. I can promise you, it gets better.